Hello, beautiful friends. I'm Jack Cox, author of Love Not Fear, and tonight we have an eclipse and full moon special. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. So Paul can't be with us tonight. He said he wasn't going to be with us last week, if you remember. And I said I had somebody to stand in, but I got the dates mixed up and she won't be here till next week. So I'm afraid, hang on, I'm just going to get my leg over here. What am I like? So you've got to put up with me on my own. So there you go. I've made some notes, so I'm going to be reading quite a bit from my notes tonight, and this may not go the full hour. It depends. If people want to talk to me, then I'll stay on. If they don't, then I won't. Is that fair? Right. Full moon eclipse. That's a picture that I nicked off the internet today of the full moon over Portugal. So the eclipse over Portugal. So it happened this morning, or here in Britain, it happened this morning, May the 16th, 2022, at 5:13 a.m. British summertime. We saw the full lunar eclipse occurring at 25 degrees in Scorpio, beginning and ending, a completion to our obsessions. Anywhere we are codependent, as these are the things that Scorpio archetype rules. Let's put the chat on and see if there's anybody there who wants to talk to me. There's 3 people watching, so if you could introduce yourselves, that would be wonderful. Love to know who's here. And if you think I'm talking nonsense, please do put me right. I'm no expert on astrology. I've sourced all this lot from various sources online today. And I've put all the credits below in the description. This 2022 full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio is nudging us to be aware of our desires, aware of our shadows, and aware of our true intentions. Are we being truly authentic? This is a time for new beginnings and intense evolution that will last for about 6 months. Expect feelings and emotions to be running high, but do try not to become overwhelmed. These energies will pass. Full moons are always an opportunity to let go of burdens that we've been carrying, to release those weights and move forward more freely. It's an opportunity to move into our power. This is a time for deep introspection, not just personal, but as a society too. It's an opportunity to look deeply into what I call in my book, The Game We Did Not Devise. To look at what's not working in society and government, and to devise something better. This is the whole point, isn't it? It's not a case of picking holes in what's wrong. It's a case of using it as a springboard to build something better. and not the way that Klaus Schwab and his mob want to do it either. Personal introspection will bring up stuff that we may have been unwilling to face until now because it's been too painful. And societal introspection will be equally uncomfortable for many. This will be a period of important disclosures. Those of us who've had our heads in the sand for the last couple of years are really going to struggle with this. Please give them all the loving help and support that they need. They're not our enemy. Lunar eclipses are times to focus on our relationships with ourselves. Time to go in, to face the shadow. Combine all this with the spring energy of renewal and self-discovery, and you can see how the super flower blood moon has the potential to be a truly powerful cosmic event. If you know how to tap into it. Now, the energy of this particular eclipse is very much a Kali energy. Those of you who are familiar with the Hindu goddess Kali. And what's the bit of the notes that follow are an abridged version of something that I took from Amanda Ellis's website. So full credit has to go to Amanda Ellis for this. I've cut it down a bit, but they're her words. I hope she won't mind, but as I've put a link to her original work below in the description, I'm sure she won't. I hope you won't, Amanda. Kali is the energy of darkness and shadow in our world, which is relentless. In a world of duality, we're always going to have that. But a bit like she showed me herself, that's shown Amanda, because Amanda does channeling and she's very, very good. I mean, please do follow her work. She's absolutely brilliant. It's a bit like the Terminator energy. You remember the Terminator films? She's like a Terminator type energy, but she's on the good side. So whatever she faces or whatever comes her way, she can deal with it and she can take it out. And we can tap into that energy and use it ourselves in our own lives. She's very good at helping to consume the darkness, and she has an appetite for being able to consume and transmute the darkness. So she fears nothing. That's the image I'm getting. That's the image Amanda was getting. Kali is the Hindu warrior goddess of liberation and rebirth. And she rules time, so she helps close out old cycles, creating the endings for new beginnings. This is the important thing to remember about all endings. They make room for new beginnings. There's no death without rebirth. So this morning we saw the total lunar eclipse and a full moon in Scorpio. The symbolism of both is deeply auspicious. This is very much a Kali eclipse because she delivers us from the deepest depths of darkness, bringing life, but only when that which is unworn has been cut away by us. So she's not going to take away anything we haven't finished with. Carly leaves no stone unturned. Hello, Heidi. Great. Yes, to end is but a beginning. Absolutely. And I think we all need new beginnings at the moment. And to get those new beginnings, we have to be prepared to have some endings. Okay, we don't need that. Right, okay. Anyway, glad to have you here, Heidi. If you think I'm saying anything wrong, then please correct me. As I say, I'm no expert on this. I'm just I'm just doing my best. Carly leaves no stone unturned, aiming to liberate us and free us from old shackles of unworthiness, oppression, denial, resistance, and anything that's decaying and outworn in our lives. Patterns, behaviors, ways of navigating the world. If they no longer align to what you wish to be and to what serves you best, they will be dismantled. If you invite Carly in. Carly can be ruthless. She severs anything that is dead and of no use, inviting in her energy is to, hang on, before we go any further with this, just a second here, because I've got some graphics here for you. Carly, as you can see, she's a pretty fierce goddess. Carly can be ruthless. She severs anything that is dead and of no use. Inviting in her energy is to have agreed to transformational change, radical new ways, and a new skin after an old one has been discarded. She will bring raw, wild energy, determination, passion, focus, commitment. And a pushing through. She does not understand the word defeat. She carries on until victory is assured. She fosters in us a sense of self-belief that we can run and we can stand with her. She instructs us to hold qualities of strength, independence, and will help us access deep wells of fortitude that we never knew existed. Bringing out the warrior and the warrioress within, fighting for truth, light, and justice. She spurs us on to do the right thing, to see things through, and to finish what we started. If you have felt weak or inferior, She will help you grow into your true power, giving you shields of invincibility to greet each new day and situation. Kali's reputation as a slayer of darkness is well known, and she can be called upon to clear out toxic lower energies in our world and in ourselves. There is no battlefield that she fears. Being sent to, being sent to, and she fights for all those who are downtrodden, suppressed, or chained to anything destructive. Like most of the Hindu deities, she has various aspects, and one of those aspects is called Durga. As her Durga aspect, her rampage and bloody attacks against the darkness are only calmed by Lord Shiva. Upon realizing that she had trampled on him in his pursuit of justice, she stops in her tracks, showing humility and understanding that to destroy what is wrong, we must be careful not to extinguish what is good. I think this is very important at this particular time as well, as we're facing our shadows. And I've got a lot of work to do there as well. You know, I mean, I'm not preaching. It's important that we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. You know, be careful what you throw out. I'm going to be doing a lot of throwing out over the next few days and weeks and months, but I'm not throwing out any people. So if you're a friend of mine, if you're in my life, I'm very grateful that you're there, and I'm not severing any ties with any people. I'm going to be changing the way I relate to certain things inside me. It's very much an internal thing. It's not about people. Although in your case, it may be. You know, it may be about jobs, or it may be about family. It might be about anything. But for me, it's not about people. She is skillfully adept at cutting away the dead wood for the whole tree to flourish in any area of life. Her sword is sharp and, like a scalpel, has precision, and knowing she can clear both the physical and all other manifestations of reality in terms of our minds, she can help us to channel and deprogram old mindsets, enabling us to be sharp and laser-like in our thinking and in our processing. And this is what I'm working on at the moment over the next 6 months. As I say, these energies go on for about 6 months. It's not just the one night, the one morning of the eclipse. Let's see, we've got another picture for you. Well, no one to do this for me today. I'll do it all myself. Her softer side as Kali Ma is the one who will nourish and comfort you, supporting with her divine mother energy when you most need it. She is also the lioness who will protect her own and attack if her offspring, i.e. you, are threatened. She knows when both toughness and gentleness are required. and her multifaceted nature does add complexity and make her energy so interesting, embracing both the light and the dark. The dark goddess Kali takes us into the void, the primordial field from which everything comes. She helps us face death and rebirth and knows that the universe is a womb, a place of all creation. Nothing is ever lost. She encourages you to dive deeply into introspection, reflection, to learn what needs learning, and to refine and keep polishing all aspects of self, to shine like the diamond star that you are. Invoking Kali is to bring in a vortex of action when you need it most. She accepts no excuses, works with your highest self, and is a champion for all that is right and good, consuming any darkness and re-establishing light. You are undoubtedly ready. If you have called her energy, and she is here to assist you and will always have your back. She will also quench and revive you, aligning you back to your true purpose if you had veered off course or been led astray. Prepare for the ride on the tiger's back. The future is assured, and you're safe in her supreme divine care. So, like I say, that last bit about Kali was from Amanda Ellis. I've cut it down quite a bit, but have a look in the description below and you'll find the original video, and you'll find a link to her shop. She does brilliant sprays and things to help you align to the different energies. I mean, I highly recommend her. And I'll say she's a channel, and she does card readings, tarot readings. Oh, hang on. Talking about card readings. Un momento. Por favor. Hang on just a sec. I'm sure there's more here. Because she did a card reading about this. Just swear, right. Yeah, Amanda then pulled a card from the Kali Oracle card deck. She pulled card 43. Look at it and tell me what the card is, because she couldn't pronounce it and I couldn't see it on the screen. She says, I can't even pronounce that one, but here we go. Card 43. Let's have a look at what this particular face of Kali is about. Champion of the, and now we're quoting from the book that came with the deck of cards. We're not quoting from Amanda now. Champion of the sweet soul, with the sweet champion of the sweet souls with pure hearts, who are underestimated and passed over. Yeah, that's you and me. It's been you and me for a long time, hasn't it? Eh? Oh, I've got to I'm a Taurus Sun, Scorpio Moon. How does it affect me? I don't know. Like I say, I'm not an expert. I've actually put, I've just sourced this from many different sources. I've put a link down below also to a video Pam Gregory did, and she'll answer that question for you in that video. The link's down in the description. So full credit to all the people I've sourced this from. Yeah, the sweet souls with fierce hearts who are underestimated and passed over. Yeah, I've been in that energy a bit the last few months, I must confess. She who is gentler, by the way, that's not a criticism of anybody. Please don't take what I say and put two and two together and make 46. Please, please, please. I'm not criticizing anyone. I love you all. She who is gentler as the deer, she who is gentle as the deer and ruthless as the lioness, who represents the capacity within the awakened heart to rise, to overcome obstacles, to have faith without any evidence of victory, and to rally the spirit until the right moment to act. She represents nonconformity and the freedom to be one's true self. Recognize your own beauty and values, irrespective of whether another has the capacity to behold it at this time. You shall shine. You see, this is the whole thing about this Kali energy. It's about non-compliance, non-conformity, freedom, independence, strength, and passion. Be who you came here to be. And like I say, after the show, I will put all the rest of the stuff, all the links down there in the description so you can follow this up. Just so there's no misunderstanding, the things I'm dealing with at the moment, that I have been doing for the last few weeks, months, got nothing to do with any people, nothing to do with any body in particular. It's a very old thing that goes back a long, long way. I was born 5/5/85 at 5:30 a.m. I mean, do the fives mean something? Okay, look at numerology. Again, if you go with Pam Gregory, she goes into a lot of numerology as well. I'm not qualified in numerology. I don't know that much about it. There may be a significance to it. Yeah, there may very well be a significance to it, but I couldn't tell you what it was. I mean, don't look at me as the expert about this. I'm just putting on a show here because it's the full Moon Lunar Eclipse. My book has got nothing at all to do with astrology. It's about changing the world. It's about how we can change the world we live in. It's about how we can build a fairer world. It's not about astrology. I know a little bit, but I'm no expert. Great. Yeah, thanks. If you like the show, tell other people, please. We need to get more eyes on the screen. That would be fantastic. Yeah, please do share the links. These shows, they stay up forever, so they're not taken down at the end of the show. So please just do tell everybody. They're on YouTube and on Facebook. So please do spread the word. The word. And I also do another show on a Friday called Co-Creating the New Earth Together. And I've got a very special guest this Friday. I know I've missed a couple, but I've got a very special guest for you this Friday. Yeah, fear is worse than any disease. I wrote the book. What did I write the book? About 5 years ago now, probably 6 years ago, when I realized that the opposite of love wasn't hate. The opposite of love was fear. And I realized that the whole system had been set up to keep us living in fear. And it's been set up that way for thousands of years. And in the book, I put together a 10-point plan of how we can, as individuals, without needing any government agreement or anything, how we can set about creating a new grassroots society that makes the old top-down governmental system obsolete. That's why I was talking earlier about the people who've had their heads in the sand for 2 years, for the last couple of years. I was so disappointed. I mean, I'm British, as you can probably tell. I'm sure some of you are from other parts of the world. And our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has disappointed me so much. He came to office on a mandate to bring in Brexit, to get us out of the EU. And I very much supported that, because the one thing eventually I very much want to see open borders. I caution against taking down the borders while we still have governments. Otherwise, we're going to end up with a totalitarian world government. So we have to tackle getting rid of governments first. Find, as I say, the fewer people who want to govern over the most people, the less representative they're going to be. It's just simple mathematics, isn't it? And I saw the EU as a step towards a one world government. So I was very happy for Brexit on that basis. But Boris Johnson has since then gone exactly the opposite way. He's sold out our sovereignty, and he's just about to do a big sellout of our sovereignty. And I'll put the links to this below as well. This is important. I mentioned earlier about things being revealed, things becoming uncovered. There's going to be a big sellout of the British sovereignty. I think it's on the 22nd, when the British government sign a treaty with the World Health Organization to let them take a large part of our autonomy over future pandemics. So there's a petition. I'll put the link to that below and some details about it. That's just got to be stopped. And the last 2 years, I mean, he's done nothing but sell us down the river, hasn't he? You know, sell us down the river. But there you go. Many countries will lose their sovereignty on the 22nd of May. Yep, that's true. Well, they will if we don't stop it. I don't know whether we can stop it or not, but we've got to try. We've got to try. I mean, write to all your MPs, or if you're in other countries, whatever you call your own representatives, and tell them not to sign that treaty. And please, if you're in the UK, sign that petition below. America won't have it. Well, I hope they don't have it. But the last I heard, Biden was planning to sign it. So I don't know. I really don't know. And it's a slippery slope towards totalitarianism, isn't it? Towards a one world totalitarian government. And all we can do, well, there's two things we can do. We can protest the hell out of it and try to stop the government doing it. Or we can follow the 10-step plan in my book or something similar. I'm not saying that mine's the only way. And try to set up grassroots systems that make the whole top-down system obsolete. And I think there has to be the preferred way forward to make it obsolete. We don't see him as the leader. It's theatre. A badly put together play. Yeah, no, he's not the leader. What's the saying? I can't remember who originally said it now, but nobody leads if nobody follows. And how can anybody possibly follow Biden? I mean, the guy's senile. Yeah, you got to be careful what you say on YouTube and Facebook, because I've had videos taken down for saying the obvious, and even for quoting government figures. Anything that goes against this crooked agenda. But you all know what I mean. Everybody on here, I'm sure, knows what I mean. When I say the last American election was not 100% kosher, let's just put it that way. I think most of you agree with me on that. Sorry, I'm having to glare at the screen like this, but Paul normally reads these comments out. He's got better eyesight than I have. Klaus Schwab and his followers are the target now. Well, they need to be the target now. But what are we actually doing to target them? This is, how are we going to take them out? I mean, so most of the world's governments, the world's national governments, have been infiltrated by Klaus Schwab's mob, the World Economic Forum and their Young Leaders program. I mean, I mentioned this last week, I think, on the show. Trudeau and loads of them. Macron and not just the top people either, but lower down echelons. Have all been through this Young Leaders program. It's just one big power grab, isn't it? The World Economic Forum is one big power grab. They represent the 1,000 richest, most powerful corporations on the planet. And they're trying to take over, destroy our democracies. They're trying to take over our governments. They already have power sharing deals with the United Nations, apparently, and with several national governments. I don't think we can beat them. I think we just have to set up an alternative system to make them obsolete. Mass non-compliance, yeah. Well, as I say, the World Economic, I've been saying this on this show now for months. The World Economic Forum represent the 1,000 biggest corporations on the planet. Stop dealing with those corporations. And that's pretty much all the shops on the high street. All the familiar names online. Stop dealing with them. Buy local. Grow locally. Share food. Start community gardens. I've just started one with some friends here in Stafford. So you don't need to buy food from the supermarkets. If you buy food from the supermarkets, you're feeding the World Economic Forum. It's as simple as that. If you buy from Amazon, and yes, I know my book is on Amazon, I'm sorry. I've got to find an alternative place where I can get the same number of people to look at it. But yeah, if you buy from Amazon, you're feeding the World Economic Forum. How many times do I have to keep saying the same thing, folks? Selected, not elected. Well, it's all down to this deep state. The deep state in all different countries, every country, all the big countries have a deep state. It's not just one or two countries that have deep states. And they're all controlled centrally anyway. And they appoint puppets. So the people you're voting for to run your country aren't the people that are running your country. They're just puppets. We've got to make the whole system obsolete. It's the only way forward. I'm growing my own food. I can make shampoo and soap. Okay, I think you're the sort of person I probably want to interview on my Friday show. If you're up for it, send me a private message, and we'll get you on. And you can tell people how to make soap and shampoo if you want to, and anything else that you know how to do. Any tips on growing your own food too? That would be brilliant. Please, if you want to come on the show, I'll get you on the show. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Yeah. I've got two excellent guests for the next 2 weeks on the Friday show. And then it's wide open. So anybody who wants to come be featured on the Friday show, please do get in touch with me. If you can teach people how to do things, or if you are just an inspiration for people to follow in your footsteps to help create the new Earth, then let's have you on the Co-Creating the New Earth show on a Friday. It's the same time, it's just on a Friday instead of a Monday. And we'll get you on. The lady this Friday runs a community garden called, sorry, I've forgotten. It's gone out of my head. Dig for Joy or something like that. The week after that, I've got something very, very special, because I keep giving this message to focus on what we want, yeah? And don't focus on what we don't want, focus on what we want. It's so easy to be drawn down this rabbit hole of everything that's wrong in the world. And yet we do need the introspection to see it, but not to dwell there, just to use it as a springboard to get what we do want. So it's a case of visualizing the Earth, the new Earth that we wish to create. And Friday week, I've got Emma Baker Hall on, who's going to lead us in a guided meditation to visualize the new Earth. So, and you can download. I'll cut that bit out of the show and make it so you can all download it separately. So that should be really, really exciting. It's not the sort of thing you do just once. It's the sort of thing you do every night before you go to sleep. Germinate your seed in wet tissues. Yeah, I do that, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you've been busy at the allotment, Michelle. Yeah. I've been, as I say, I've been busy on our community garden that we're starting. Not today because it's been with rain here, but over the last few days, I've been very busy on it. I really think that's what we've got to do. I keep talking about this idea of money-free, free gift economy groups based around community gardens. Because even if you can't garden and you don't want to learn how to garden, you've got some skill that you can use to help the community. And in exchange for that, they will feed you. That's the idea. Let's see, what's this? Very shy. Thank you for the offer, but okay. Okay, not to worry. But we're all very friendly here. So if you feel later on that you might want to do it, and also if you don't have to come on camera. We have a Co-Creating the New Earth Together Facebook group. So if you want to join that group, you can post information on there to help people. You don't have to come on the show. Just an idea. Michelle's saying, if I shop bought edible dried beans, peas, chickpeas, and grow, it's a lot cheaper than buying seed packs. Yeah, and the second year, save your seeds. If you do buy seed packs, please don't buy F1 hybrids because they're sterile. Save your seeds for the following year. Dry your seeds and share your seeds. And if you can get hold of heirloom seeds, so much the better. Yeah, the old-fashioned seeds that we used to grow. The seeds that grew well before all these bloody chemicals. We don't need chemicals. I mean, I grow on an organic permaculture system, or at least it will be a permaculture system next year. I've had to do some deep digging this year, unfortunately, to get out the bramble roots. But from here on in, it's a no dig permaculture system. So how are we doing for time? Okay. Where was I? I was talking about this free gift economy, wasn't I? I know I talk about that a lot. This idea that we can do things for one another without any money. We don't need money. When we have this deep introspection into the current system, the one thing we have to pull out is our dependency on money. This fake idea that we have to have tokens of exchange, that the other person has to give to you in the exact same proportions as you give to him or to her. Why? What goes around comes around, you know? Let's just stop being mean. I call money the root of all meanness because it makes us bean count. It makes us into accountants. It makes us look over our shoulder. Is he getting one over on me? I mean, honestly, what is that? Where does that come from? Well, I know where it comes from. It comes from money. It makes us mean. That's why I propose a free gift economy. There's another quote on here, but I can't get to it. Yeah, try mine, Jack. Runner beans, also make your own organic fertilizer. Comfrey, comfrey water, yeah. Just dig up your comfrey, cut some comfrey. It'll come again. Cut some comfrey, and stick it in a bucket with some water, and leave it for a few weeks until it really stinks, and then put it on your plants. But highly diluted. Don't put it on neat. Put it on highly diluted. So you can just see a little bit of brownness in the water. And yeah, it's much better than all the fertilizers that the chemical people want to sell you, that are destroying our planet. And always, if you've got the space, always don't worry too much about pests. Grow some extra for the wildlife. We've just become so mean in every aspect of our being, haven't we? You know, you can't let the rabbits have a little bit of your cabbage, and it's only really, pests are only really a problem, and disease is only really a problem if you grow these modern varieties that are dependent on chemicals, or if you grow monoculture, if you grow low, fields and fields, or even a lot of the same crop. I've put in I've just put in a row of carrots, and a row of leeks, and a row of carrots, and a row of beetroot, and a row of leeks, and a row of carrots, and split it all up so it confuses the pests. You don't need chemicals. As long as you put the right crops in the right rotation order, because you can't put the same crops in the same ground year after year, obviously, or then you will get a build-up of pests and diseases. Hello, Libby. Libby's here. Hi, Jack. Listening from work. Sounds interesting. Yeah, if you've missed the beginning of it, it was a lot more interesting at the beginning. I read out some brilliant stuff about the full moon eclipse. So yeah, when you get home, if you want to, I mean, give it a watch from the beginning. It's I think it's interesting. We were talking a lot about Kali energy, and I'm certainly going to be invoking Kali tonight to help me with some of the private stuff that I've got to deal with. Well, I don't know what happened there. Maybe it suddenly flashed off the screen. So I hope you're all still here. I need a new computer, I think. Right. Michelle's saying, animals and insects have a right to eat too. Try growing squash vertically. Save space for more plants. Yeah, there's lots of things you can grow vertically. And yeah, the plants and the insects, they're all part of the goddess, or part of the cycle of nature, and they've got a place too. So, as I say, I always grow a little bit extra because I know they're going to get some, and I don't mind them having some. A friend of mine has deer that visits her field regularly, and she doesn't mind what they take. Oh, will you go away? So, no, not you lot. That's on the screen here. I just wish it was okay. It's gone completely now. Yeah, hang on. So this. Right, okay, we're back. Right, well, we've done our... Hang on, we've got another comment here, I think. So you've been listening to me waffling on for an hour. I think it's time to let you all go. So, like I say, I've got a brilliant show this Friday with somebody who runs a community garden. and a British show the following Friday, where we're going to be doing this New Earth visualization. So please do come along for that. And all the links for all the sources of what I've been talking about today will be, give me 10 minutes, but they all will be down in the description on the YouTube version of this video. Okay, they don't tend to get put up on the Facebook version. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank you all very much for coming. Please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all again next week or possibly Friday, if you can make it for Friday. Namaste.